All right, day 7 of stretching. I'm actually going to start with the stretch I left off yesterday. Still honestly feeling pretty tight. Now, I've actually already stretched pretty good, like probably somewhere around lunchtime today. Because as I said before, I I know that me just stretching at night is probably not going to really help me reach my goals. So let's do this. Okay. One thing I actually meant to do today, which I didn't do, but that I want to do out of curiosity, is study how gymnasts stretch. Gymnasts and people who do ballet, they're known for their extreme flexibility. But I wonder how much they stretch. And I have a feeling it's way, way, way more. I've read stuff about it before because I remember watching something where it was like a gymnastics coach was literally forcing a young athlete's limbs into certain positions to force flexibility. It looked dangerous, to be honest. The little girl was crying and all that kind of stuff. Hold on, let me reset. But she was crying. It seemed to me like it's something that would rip muscle, but it kind of showed me like the lengths that people go to create flexibility in joints. I mean, flexibility in muscles. Ooh. But for me, it's good for me to see what athletes do because I'm reminded like how athletes we be thinking that we're doing something when we do our 30 minutes a day, and I'm not disparaging anybody who does like 30-minute exercise sessions a day. That's great because really the average person isn't doing that. But whenever you see what a lot of these athletes do, it helps you to see that there are truly levels to fitness. It's real levels to this stuff. So from time to time, I look up the very highly decorated track athlete Allison Felix. I think she's the most decorated female track and field athlete ever. Maybe even track and field athlete overall, male or female. Female or male, I say it that way. And like, I just happened to come across something today that was referencing her training for the 2012 Olympics. And she was training 4.5 hours a day, 6 days a week. Now, I know what some people will say, well, that was her job. But think about it. Yes, of course it was. But think about it. Think about being physically active for 4.5 hours a day. To put this in perspective, and I'm still stretching by holding onto my leg like that. To put it in perspective, when I was studying to become a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer that is, one thing that I learned was the American College of Sports Medicine recommends that people who want to maintain their weight exercise 150 minutes a week. So that's 30 minutes 5 times a week. So if a top track athlete's training 4.5 hours a day, do you realize how much
4.5 hours a day is. 4.5 hours is, what's that, 270 minutes a day? Because 4 hours is 240 minutes plus 30. So 270 minutes a day. And think about how we're encouraged to maintain weight to do no less than 150 minutes. So somebody like Allison Felix would be training way more in one day than a person would be in 1 week. And what that makes me think about, because I'm a fan of fitness and all that kind of stuff, makes me think, so what would actually happen if the average person were to really, really kind of like upside down the way that they approach fitness? You know, like how if you have one of those spinning tops, the bottom part that is on the ground is real skinny, and the top part is fat. So if you consider how we tend to approach exercise, a lot of times we'll do like a little bit of exercise when you consider 24 hours. But what if we made our days active instead of just kind of doing 30 minutes or even an hour a day or something? And I know we have 9 to 5s and all this kind of stuff, but what would happen if we trained for like a couple, 2 hours a day or something like that? I know it's a lot, but it intrigues me to consider how much the body would change with that kind of approach to fitness. So it's something I'm even considering myself, because I like the idea, if I'm honest. I like the idea. But yeah, I like the idea because the body would have to change. If you're training 4.5 hours a day, 6 days a week, that's 270 times 6, which is 7 times 6 is 42. So that's going to be 12, 13, 14, 1, 6, 2, 0, 270 times, so 1,620 minutes a week. So, and then 6 goes into that. So anyway, 4.5 hours times 6, that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And then you have 1, 2, 3. So 27 hours a week. Hold up. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Yeah, 27 hours a week. So you're doing equivalent to over a day of exercise a week. Your body has to change. It must change with that kind of stimulus. Ooh. Oh, man. Ooh. But your body has to change with that kind of stimulus. It must change. Like, there's literally no way that it can't change. Oh, Lord. I stretched this side, but yeah, I'm definitely getting more flexible now. I am. I definitely am. Okay. All right, so let's do one more butterfly, pushing the knees down. All right. Ooh, Lord. All right. So now I'm just gonna do calf stretch. And then oh no, let's do this one. Ooh. Okay, I'll let that be it in the interest of time since it's kind of late. Let me go ahead and stretch these calves. But yeah, think about that. When I was trained to be a personal trainer, they were suggesting 250 to 300 minutes of exercise a week to actually change your body. And I guess that's just kind of taking into consideration the average person who's working 8 hours a day and that type of thing. But what if you doubled that? What if you worked out 2 hours a day? Now, working out doesn't have to be vigorous and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be. It could be a variety of, it could be alternating between low intensity and high intensity. It's just movement. Even if you were to walk 2 hours a day, what kind of impact would it have on your body? It's amazing to even consider it. All right, here we go. Now let's do this standing hamstring. Let it dangle first. Oh man. All right, let's do it again. All right, come on down and breathe into it. Okay, now kind of pull ourselves into it. Ooh. Okay, wow. All right, that's it. Making progress. Still got a ways to go. But I am getting flexible. I'm determined to reach my goal. I got 3 more days of stretching, depending on how you look at it. And I hope you guys will continue to follow me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Have a good day.